Brasco&Beast. Fit, fabulous, and frisky.
Hi, I'm Beast without Brasco right now. This is part of our long-distance relationship situation, but I wanted to practice doing something as a surprise for Brasco. I'm taking King Oyster Mushrooms, and we're going to see about converting these into barbecue ribs. Have a very simple recipe for it, and want to encourage you to take notes. We'll put the notes for you in the entire show and all that kind of stuff, and in the footnotes. Also, be sure that if you see something that you like on our channel, be sure to hit our subscribe button, because we definitely want to encourage you so that you don't miss any of our new material. And also hit the bell so you can be notified when we have a brand new video that's going to be available for you. But with our fit, fabulous, and frisky thing, now we're going to be talking about some fabulous food as we change King Oyster Mushrooms, which I got from the Asian store in Pennsylvania, and change these into ribs. No kidding. So here's what we're starting off with the King Oyster Mushrooms. What we're going to do is we're going to cut off the tops here and then cut these into pieces that are going to be pretty even so that we can mimic the size of boneless spare ribs. And then we'll get this all together. We're going to make them very smoky. Then we're going to make them very barbecue-y. And then we're going to make them very tasty. Yeah, that's it. Tasty. Okay, so we're going to start off with processing these mushrooms. I'm going to take these tops and saute them for something later. Besides, baby don't really like the tops anyway. She thinks they're yucky. Cut off that bottom and cut off this top. See, they're lining up already. Looking halfway decent. Cut this one off. I'll cut this one off. Now, I want to make sure that they turn into good, solid rib strips, so I'm going to cut these in half here like this. Cut this in half here like this. Some thick ribs though. I just about don't need to cut that in half, as thick as that is. And that one. I normally need to cut this one in half. Definitely this one. Because these are the bigger ones. You might get a smaller, even the smaller versions of this, the smaller King Oyster Mushrooms might work for this as well. But we're looking at getting pieces of these pieces turning out to look more like meat, right? Could try to press that down, make that work like that, make that work like that, maybe. Nah, let's cut it. Let's make them all the same. All right, so we got them. Okay. I'll take these caps, put them in a bag all their own, bag them up. Now I'm going to use apple cider vinegar, sesame oil, and liquid smoke. And I'm going to use all of these and make a sauce for them all to soak in that's going to help it to keep the flavors that I want to have here. So I'm going to mix up all three of these. I'm going to need a lot of it because I got a lot to mix up there. Apple cider vinegar, liquid smoke. Can't never have enough liquid smoke if you want to know the truth. I'm just going to donate the whole bottle to this one. Or what's left over from the bottle. Then we're going to use this sesame oil. Okay, so I'm mixing it all up. I got the sesame oil in there as well. So what I want to do is I want to take my mushroom slices and put them in there so that they can soak in it. Okay? And I got a lot of big pieces, so that's why I made sure that I had a lot of them. A lot of this mixture available. Yeah. It's going to be big old pieces of meat. I want to make sure that they get nice and moist up and use up all that juice that I created there, right? Wow. Maybe I made more than I thought I did. I'm going to have to use both hands for this. So I'm trying to get all of these in here. Can't squeeze them all at the same time, but I want to make sure they all get soaked, really soaked, you know, because I need all of them to be able to get all the seasoning that I'm going to put on top of it. Because what I want to do is I want to fire them up and make them smoky, right? And then they already smell kind of smoky right now. I'll just do them a little bit, piece at a time here. Oh, it's definitely a mess. But it's a delicious smelling mess already. That sesame oil gives you that oiliness. Yeah. Put these over here so I can soak them up, soak them up, soak them up, soak them up, soak them. Put some more, put some more. Soak them all the way up, right? You know, it already smells a little bit like meat. It already smells like smoked meat already. That liquid smoke is a beautiful thing. It does a lot for flavoring, you know. These are going to be some big old pieces of rib. I'm going to have enough for now and later. And samples. Okay. These are kind of big, so I guess it's taking me a little more time. That's okay. I want them to be soaked. Look at that. Already looks like I'm going to pour the rest of this stuff right on top of them too. I want it all on there. I want it to soak. Okay? Yeah, already looking like pieces of meat as we speak. Now, I have to be honest. And I'm really not typically into doing this much detail when it comes to cooking. I'm pretty simple, straightforward, you know. But in my learning how to cook whole food, plant-based, I've come to terms with the fact that I want to have some stuff that's a little tastier. I don't mind simple because I can eat raw stuff all day long. I can eat like a caveman. It ain't no problem. Brasco quick to tell me I can act like a caveman. Probably because well, anyway. Because I'll drink cold coffee like it ain't nothing. 2 days old or whatever. That type of stuff, you know. But now we want to get the sauces and the sprinkles and the flavorings on top of it. It's really smelling good. Man. I don't know. Might be something to these old recipe things, right? Go figure. So now I'm going to go ready to add the dry spices, or the spices that I wanted to mix in with. So I'm going to use a little bit of mustard powder. All right. Paprika. All right, we're going to put some I'm just putting a little bit of yeast on it. Garlic salt. Pepper. Rub it all in there, right? Rub it all in there, right? Rub it all in there. Let's flip them. Let's flip them. Let's flip them. boy, it's already gaining. It's already starting to sweat. Sometimes when you season these things, they start sweating. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take these things and we're going to fry them. And we're going to press them on both sides. So as soon as I get to putting some seasoning salt on them too. Season these up like ribs here, right? It's looking awful familiar. Looking like ribs. Looking like ribs to me. Garlic salt. Got all my meat ready. Now it's time to cook the meat. Use these heavy iron cast pans so that we can press these as they are cooking. So in order to give it a good little opportunity to cook here, start off with some canola oil. That's something from my Dean Ornish days. It's formidable to use that to cook with. And we're going to put these in and try to fry them up. Try to fry up as many as we can at one time. Whoops. They're very messy. Yuck. So, trying to get these set. I want to try to put the thicker ones in the middle of the pan. Those ones I got to press down on harder, probably. Pieces of meat. They smell like pieces of meat that need to be cooked. They really do. I mean, they really, really do. Oh, that goes in the middle. That's a big old chunk right there. I have to put some more spice back on it because it melted off on some of these. One of these, it melted off. Let's put it back on there. There you go. Oh yeah. Chili powder. Okay. Now we're going to put the pans on here. We're going to press them. Constantly pressing with some weight. So I'm going to use the weight of this one for this. And I'm going to use some weight on the other one, but I got to figure out which weight I want to use here. I'll use the weight of this over here for this. Make it a little heavier. I'm trying to press this pan to these pieces. And I got this pan being pressed by this cooker. And I'm going to lean on them, all right, so that they fry them on both sides, all right? I'm going to need this pan for later, so I'm going to clean this pan out because I got to use it to cook it, to cook them in the oven after I finish frying them over here. All right? And I want to get them nice and toasty on both sides. Okay? Now, the only thing I'm OCD about is I like to try to keep stuff clean as I'm going along because I hate doing dishes after everything's finished cooking, you know? But in this case, I'm doing this dish because I'm going to need this later because I'm going to put all of these on here, put them in the oven, either using this or using this. But I'm going to put them in the oven, put aluminum foil over it so that they can have the barbecue sauce that'll be cooked into it. But right now I need to make sure it's clean. Oh, this is why you have an apron, right? To dry your hands. Well, these recipes and aprons and stuff, somebody thought of this. Duh, right? Yeah, you can see it cooking in there. You see how it's cooking? It's frying up on each side. And it is smelling just like meat. Just like meat. Let's see what's starting to look like a little bit here. Yeah, it's cooking in its own sauces. It's all ready. It's already doing too much. Oh yeah, oh yeah. We getting it. Now the original recipe called for mushroom powder. I never found any mushroom powder. But I used yeast instead. Nutritional yeast instead to give it that buttery taste. And so what I'm doing is I'm frying them on both sides. I've already got my stove preheated at 350. Now I'm going to decide which kind of barbecue I want. We got original. I got spicy, original. I got some sweet stuff down there. But you know what? I'm going to stick with this Mr. Stubbs and see how it tastes with original and all that. Might as well crack the seal on these things and get them ready. So I'll do half of them with original and I guess half of them spicy. Why not, right? I got plenty of meat for it to go into, right? Because we'll drench them in the sauce before we, put them in the oven. Drench them. That's what ribs are supposed to be, right? Oh yeah, that's smelling good. What I can do to turn these things over. Tongs. Just have to use a long fork then. Improvise, right? Let's see how this is going right here. Ooh. Cooking in its own juices, drowning in it actually. Let me see if it's cooking like it needs to on that side though. Ooh. This guy actually almost got too much juice. It's like they're too juicy. I'm going to pour some of this out. Because I need for them to burn a little bit. So much water is coming out of them. It's partially because they're so thick too. But take a look at it. That's that meat. Trying to get that meat to fry up. I needed to have a little burn on each side of it. Gonna do the same thing for this other one. Pour out some of the juice. Actually burning a little bit better than the other one. Close to each other then. Flip back over. Yeah, this one's frying up like I wanted to right here. That's frying up like I wanted to. Might have poured too much out of that. Where's my spray? Here's what my pieces of meat look like right now. They're browning on both sides. I'm liking the way they're looking. They're getting that charred look on each side of it. Oh yeah, definitely these pieces. So I'm gonna go ahead and transfer them over here to this pan. And stack them up. Okay. I don't particularly like that piece, but I like these other pieces though. Got them all on the same pan. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to swim them in. Do we go with original or do we go with spicy? Let's go with original. Let's just do this. Let's just do it up with original. And I do it in true beast fashion. I use my hand to smother them. I wash my hands, and plus, when they cook, any germs will be cooked away, obviously, right? Ooh, the shit is hot. Ah! Right now, this is where Brasco would be laughing at me. But she won't be laughing if it tastes good. She'll be like, way to go, baby. She says that a lot. I love it when she says that, too. Way to go, baby. Yeah. Hot on my fingers. You know? Now, I'm thinking, what am I missing? Let me put a little more, just a little more. Just a little more. Chipotle on that thing. Just a touch. Just a little bit right there. Just a little bit right there. They got flavor. Gotta give them that. Got flavor. Now we're going to drown them in some more sauce. I mean, these are barbecue ribs, right? Because here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take these and I'm going to cover this all with aluminum foil. Then I'm going to pop it in the oven, okay? And let it stay in the oven for about 45 minutes. That's where the meat texture will really kick in. That's supposed to be where the magic's supposed to happen, so we'll see. Now, as I'm looking at all of this, I'm going to be honest. This is smelling every bit of ribs. I'm going to be honest about it. And I want to use my finger to make sure I got every piece covered, thoroughly covered and drenched before I put this aluminum foil on top of this thing. And let me use, no, that's parchment paper. Get this aluminum foil on here. Well, since it's not airtight, I'm going to have to use some more pieces. I guess I'm doing this like a rookie. I should have gauged it better. That was smart. Let's try that again. I will have to buy some more aluminum foil. Okay. So, we'll do it like this. They're already hot, and the oven is preheated, so we ought to be good to go. For these ribs, I've been waiting to make these ribs for a long time. Now we're going to put them in the oven and make the magic happen. Now we have them in the oven at 350. We're going to do this, let this sit here for about 45 minutes so that the magic happens, because it's got all of that barbecue sauce on it. We should be ready to go. I'll tell you this much, the way it's smelling while it's cooking, make you want to smack your mama. I wouldn't smack mine though, because when I was 12 years old, I tried my mama. She flipped me over to put a knee on my neck and told me, boy, if you ever. So I'm just talking noise. I ain't serious. I don't play with my mama. No. 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 So while my ribs are cooking in the oven, and they're still cooking, we're still waiting for, I would say, at least 10 more minutes or so. But while that's going on, I had already kind of prepared the stuff I wanted to cook to go with my ribs. And I had used my rice cooker so I can make some black rice. And I've got plenty of it. I'm not going to eat all that right now. Although Brasco would accuse me of trying to eat all that right now. But I'm not going to eat all that right now. I'm going to plate my food. It's because I wanted to use this along with some black-eyed peas that I had made. You know, you got some people who have white rice and black-eyed peas. Well, I have black rice and black-eyed peas. So I'm going to plate these two together in anticipation for my wonderful, wonderful barbecue ribs. Ooh, that's hot. That's hot. Now, a lot of people don't know about black rice. Black rice is referred to as the forbidden rice. Now, I actually cook my black-eyed peas with some turmeric. That's why it may look a little different color than you might be used to. So they're a little tinge of yellow. I like turmeric because of its anti-inflammatory properties. You see that? I'll mix all of that together. That's my side dish. And then I also made my infamous, delicious, unbelievably wobbly. No, that's actually the camera. Let me tighten that down. But my delicious, unflappable hibiscus tea. This is the nectar of the gods right here. It's got pineapple, lemon, ginger, cloves, nutmeg, cinnamon, hibiscus tea, and agave. It doesn't have Tito's in it. This is just the bottle I keep it in, okay? But I use all kinds of bottles. You know, like I use this bottle. Since I'm not going to be drinking, I might as well use the bottles, right? And they keep real well. Plus, I try to avoid plastic whenever I can. So, got that bottle. Oh, I got another interesting bottle, too. I even got a wine bottle, so it looks like it's wine. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, boy. But actually, it's the hibiscus tea. But since I got the other one open, since I got the Tito's open, I'm going to use that one instead for my meal tonight. And I don't think I'm going to have this room in my stomach for a salad. So I'm not going to bother with that. Plus, I got everything pretty much cleaned up right now. I don't want to dirty up more stuff. I want to keep it minimal, right? You know. All right. Been in there for at least 50 minutes. Time to take it out. See what we got. Turn this off so it's not still cooking. Use a mutton mitten this time, didn't I? Let's see what this... Okay. I'm about to take this off here. You're going to see it when I see it, so we're going to see what it looks like. Okay. 2 pieces of aluminum foil I probably can use later. Well, that looks like a bit of a challenge. Wow. It's really weird. You see how that looks like meat? I'm going to go ahead and put it on here and roll with it. And I'm going to get this piece here. Look at that piece I didn't like. I'll eat that one. Since I didn't like it. I didn't like the way it looked. But looked pretty damn good. I almost feel like I should cook this a little bit more, but we'll see. You can see what it looks like. We got the meat here, my mixture of my black-eyed peas and my black rice. Got my hibiscus tea. But now, it's about tasting this and see what these taste like. What is it giving me here? Do I need to cook it a little more or whatever? You know, I need to figure that out. So I'm going to cut this first of all. See what it cuts like. Well, it's cutting tough like meat. This one's a little bit more. That's an interesting texture, don't you think? Wow. Oh, this is amazing. I mean, before we get to eating it, let's just take a look at the texture here, okay? Look at that. Look at that texture. It's striated like meat. This looks like a piece of fat rib. Okay. Time for the moment of truth, right? Bottom line is, it is delicious. My first time trying it. First time trying that particular barbecue sauce, so that threw me off a little bit. But the barbecue sauce ain't the problem. Ain't none of it the problem. It all tastes very, very good. Very, very tasty. And it's going to make for a great, great meal. There's only one thing that can make my meal better. I had my Brasco here. But we're in a long distance relationship, so some weekends I have to fend for myself. So it's always good to know how to cook, just in case you have to do it for yourself, right, fellas? You know? But this right here, actually, Now that I'm used to the barbecue sauce, because I'm used to, you know, sweet sauce and all that type of stuff. But yeah, works well with my black eyed peas and black rice. Oh yeah. I'm gonna give this a thumbs up for real. My goodness, I made this? Brasco, I made this. Can you believe it? Believe it. It is A-okay. So there you have it. Barbecue ribs made out of oyster mushrooms with black rice and black eyed peas. And it works. It works. I can imagine if I had a grill and put them on the grill, you could grill them on the grill and firm them up a little bit more if that's what you want. But right, it tastes a lot like fat meat on a rib. It looks and it tastes and it smells like ribs. It really, really does. But it tastes like the fat meat, you know. But it's still, I mean, it's one of the more meatier textures I've come across, you know. And I didn't even press them that long or that hard, but it turned out real nice. So anyway, so if you like the stuff that we have in your life, like this video, then or you learned something from this video, by all means, I want you to share it with other people, particularly as more people are trying to learn how to eat more of a whole food plant-based diet. I do only the simplest of recipes because I ain't no cook, okay? But I can follow some instructions, right? And I followed the instructions to do this. Believe me, if I can do it, any of y'all can do it because I ain't no chef. Right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into this food. Yep. Barbecue make me want to slap my mama. But mama, I ain't talking about slapping. That's just a phrase. That's just a phrase, okay, mama? Just a phrase. Anyway, I'm missing Brasco, and I'm Beast, and we're out of here.
Brasco and Beast. Fit, fabulous, and frisky.